And I was just asking people like, yo, when you get in the car, what's the first thing you look for? Like, and I got a GED, so I'm trying to get deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the first thing? And they say, well, you look to see how much gas is in the car. You know, and so for me, that's what it's all about, fuel. And I didn't have a lot of it at 15, 16 because, you know, found out my mother lied. The person that was raising me wasn't my real father. I was actually raised by my real father, didn't know who he was. So I was with my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, you know, I was with his family, all my cousins, but they just said he was a friend of the family. Yeah, so my mom was sweet with it. Much respect for Mom. Yeah, Mom was sweet. Mom's realized at a young age, she got pregnant with me at 17, had me at 18, and she was just like, yo, he's not the best influence for you. Oh, okay. You know, so she's like, we're just gonna cut him off completely. You know what I'm saying? Like, he dead completely. So I don't know how she pulled it off, but like I would be around him, around my family, and it was always like this guy was a friend of the family. Probably about 13 when I confronted my mom about it, you know, about 13. You know, so just homeless for a while, you know, sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans. Yeah, eventually dropped out of high school. You know, it's like, yo, I was going to high school every day, but after a point, my boys was like, what are you going for? But you've been doing it in terms of the physical, working out for years. You also had an ailment that, you know, that you studied and was like, I got to get through this. You know, you actually helped thousands and thousands and thousands of people do it. So there's a credibility that you have because you've become one with what you're doing. Where somebody who read a book and then say it, it's like, that's good information, but some kind of way it's not coming across the right way. So I think the first thing you need to do is like literally live what you're talking about. And I think a lot of people, you know, like I hear people shine, you know, how to make $1 million. I'm like, bro, you in debt. How to make $1 million? Like, what does that mean? Like, you making that up. You don't really believe that, you know, or you haven't lived it. So I think one, you know, the lived experience is always the best one. Number two, I did it every day, every single day. You know, I was either teaching a GD class or I was going to the hospitals and speaking. You know, just whatever, not necessarily in front of people.
We focus so much on what we don't have. We focus on what everybody else has. Like, we always want to focus on the disadvantage. And I'm not saying we're not disadvantaged, but if you make that the focus, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So I'm just gonna focus on a couple things I do have. Life, I got a brain, I know how to read, I know how to speak. So what my father wasn't there? So what, you know, I didn't go to the best school district? So what, I got kicked out? So what, I got kicked out of college? So what? I'm gonna focus on what I can do, what I do have, and what I can become. And that's what I think the problem is. I just feel like your gifts will make room for you. And when you're trying to be somebody else, you block your gifts. You block your opportunity. So you don't see me trying to throw a football. You don't see me trying to, you know, put a basketball in a hoop. You see me speaking. You know, you see me serving, helping kids get their GED. I blew up with teaching a GED class. That's how I became famous. And people always ask me, why did you start there? Because somebody helped me to get my GED. So that's the one thing I had. I had knowledge on how to get a GED. I didn't know how to do anything else. So that I can give you this information, but I just feel impressed. You know, I just feel impressed, man, just to break this thing into two, all right? And so in the atmosphere right now, we all know that there's a spirit of anxiety. If you read the newspaper, if you're watching TV, if you're talking to your family, and you know, here's what's crazy. The reason why I say it's a spirit that's throughout the earth is because it's not isolated to a particular race, or a particular gender, or a particular age group, or socioeconomic status. Like, this is different, y'all. This is different. This is something that the majority of the earth is dealing with right now. So it doesn't matter what part of town you live on. It doesn't matter, again, what education you have. Like, the world is dealing with COVID-19. The world is dealing with social injustice. The world is dealing with police brutality. Like, we all on an accord with this. It's affecting everybody.